We're live.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Coffee with Ori. It is Monday, and I think it's the 27th. I just got back from DR yesterday, and it was a wonderful trip. Scenery was amazing, the water was amazing, the sun was amazing. It was amazing. Uh, I am your host, Ori. And I want to talk to you about some things that I noticed. Now, Dr. D, who is the owner of this network, and her children have traveled a lot. Not as I haven't traveled as much as them because they've gone to like a lot of the countries in Asia, but they have traveled a great deal. And the one thing that I'm finding out more and more and more and more is that tradition is being lost. And I don't understand why. And I don't understand it. I mean, I stayed in a five-star hotel and the service was great and everything was like, all you can eat and, very expensive. And at the end of the day, people leave uh, this country to go to other countries to learn and to eat the foods of their culture. But it just seems that people are so consumed. Hey, Kat, how are you, honey? People are so consumed with wanting to be so much like us, excuse me, that they lose their identity. And it's sad. You go to DR, and I was looking for the typical, mango breakfast and the fried, just fried, like it's like bologna, but like salami, bologna salami, like that. Fried cheese and all those things. And good evening, Sadia. Good evening to all. And what I found was that, okay, where I remember from years back going to DR, having croissants and having everything that was there, lots of different cheeses lined up and fruit, and the service was so amazing. The mango, which is a traditional, Dominican dish that's made out of plantain, it's always been like butter. At least when I make it, it's like butter. Like you can add, I add butter and milk and a little bit of the water when you boil the plantain. So as you make it, it gets creamier and creamier, and it's and you saute onions on the side. Well, guess what? I didn't have anything that didn't have lumps. Uh, Barely any croissants. Everything that was there was catered to American people. It wasn't catered to Hispanic people, which it's sad because I mean, whenever you go to Cuba, whenever you go to Cuba and wherever you eat, you're gonna eat rice and beans and meat and whatever, and everything is traditional. When you go to Colombia, it's the same way. When you go to Aruba, it's the same way. When you go to Brazil, it's the same way. Peru, Ecuador, they have their staples. But here, I don't know what really happened. I just think I have a little bit of a sore throat, but it started to happen here when I got here yesterday night. But anyway, like I said, DR is a very beautiful place. The people are very beautiful and kind. The service from the people was an amazing experience, but unfortunately, the service from people that are like upper management was kind of shitty because they were treating their employees as their employees were their slaves. And I don't go for that. I think that that's kind of rude, and I think that people forget that when they start off, they started off either washing dishes or cleaning the floor or whatever, and all of a sudden, it's like, they're judging the people that work under them. Now, yes, I am tired. It was an ordeal to get on the plane. Uh, a lot of things that were supposed to go easy didn't go easy, and maybe it's because I'm not the one that was handling it. Yeah, Kathy, I agree with you. So do I. Like I said, going to Colombia and going to all these places, I've experienced their cuisine, and I love it. I love being in a Latin country and learning the culture, and I've never been to Ethiopia, but I've eaten Ethiopian food and I love it. I've never been to you know Dubai or anything like that, but I love the spices and I love their food. So I love Indian food, and I like a lot of like halal meats. So I don't do goat and I don't do lamb, but halal chicken, yeah, I do and I like it. But like I said, there was nothing. There was nothing, nothing, nothing. Everyone there spoke English, and whenever they saw us talking to Spanish people in Spanish, people looked at us like we had three heads. Now, I can tell you that there was a great deal of Russians there, a great deal of Germans there, a great deal of Polish people there, and a little bit of Brazilian people there. Mostly, like I said, mostly Russian and German people were there. So, I mean, we had everything from, let me see, crepes with Nutella, fried eggs, which works for other people. I like scrambled dry. Me too. I haven't traveled much, but I've been eating pretty much from all the world. I learned about cultures. I'm obsessed with every culture. Yes, Kathy, and I agree with you. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm obsessed with every culture because I am not. I will be lying. But I want to go to Africa. I want to experience their food head on. And I want to go to other countries like Morocco and Malta, and I want to see their cultures. But like I said, I'm devastated with the fact that they want to, and basically what it is they're cutting corners because I had a conversation with a chef 2 days in a row, and it was about a fish, and I said to him, you created this fish, and the fish is nice and it's good, but at the end of the day, the fish was very salty. And I told them twice. Now, the third time, the fish was not salty. And I said to him, that's good, And I kept seeing different things, like I make this pasta made with bow tie pasta, and it's very obvious that they are catering to Caucasians, unfortunately, instead of them embracing their own culture. Yeah, I agree with you, Sadia. They are. I could say yes, they're embracing Caucasians, but I can also say that it's economical for them. And what I noticed is that a lot of the German people, a lot of the Russian people, they were not acting the way they act in Cuba. In Cuba, when you see them, they're eating rice and beans and chicken, and they're just gobbling it down. Here, They really weren't. Most of what they were doing was drinking, and they weren't rude or anything. They just were not really eating. They had 3 restaurants and 4 restaurants, and there's one for breakfast, and then the one by the pool is for lunch, but it's also at 6 o'clock, and they make lobster and steak and stuff like that. And I don't know how in the world you can screw up lobster, but they screwed up lobster. So again, the reason that I'm actually saying this is because, in the process of trying to help, I had to let the person that I was with understand and know that, whenever she called and made a complaint, people were like, oh, we've never had a complaint. I'm like, that's not true, because on Google, there are so many complaints with the agency here in Miami, which sucks. So if you guys are ever going to plan a trip to Dominican Republic or Cuba or Colombia or Brazil, anywhere, go through Airbnb. Get yourself a driver, because they're inexpensive, and just go. And yes, Kathy, it's really sad because, I have an affiliation with Dominicans, and I love the culture, and I love the food, and I expected so much more, and I was just so disappointed every day. It's like every day I had a stomach ache. Every day I just felt horrible. Every day all I wanted to do was just go to my room and just lay down. But I went to the beach, which I never do. I mean, I don't know if you could tell, I have a little color, but I don't go to the beach and I don't lay out or anything, but I did, But no matter what I went through with the food, the environment was beautiful. The people were beautiful. The culture is phenomenal, and everything about it was just breathtaking. The ocean, and I'll post some pictures of where I was staying so that you guys can get a better understanding. But again, like I said, to my disappointment, the biggest thing was the fact that there was nothing there. Maybe 1 or 2 times, like the mango, like I said, was like with pieces of plantain. It's not the way I make mango. It's not the way that my mom makes mango. I mean, And then the Russian salad, everything was big pieces, and it was layered on top of each other. And I asked, what was that? And they explained, and I said, that's not the way that I do it. So, I think that everyone, Cuba does the same thing, but I think that a lot of countries, they believe that when you leave America or you leave their country, you get out of their country, they're coming to your country and they want to have a good time. They want to drink and they want to party. And they don't realize that people come to other countries to get to know the culture and the food. The food is culture. Food is what is the international language, and, what you will be upset with what they did with couscous, the disaster that they created. And again, like I was saying to you, I create this pasta, Kathy, that is bow tie pasta. And I cook the bow tie pasta separate, and I cook it with frozen peas, because I love peas. Or you can add vegetables, like the mixed frozen vegetables. And I drain all the water, and then I take shrimp and I saute the shrimp with olive oil. And then I pour the shrimp in the pasta, and then I add Parmesan cheese. Simple. Everyone I've ever made it for loves it. I just make it with peas because I love peas. But what I'm getting at is something as simple as that. You can't screw up. I can't. If you're going to make rice and beans, well, no. If you're going to make rice If you're gonna make rice in a big quantity, then get yourself a professional rice cooker, a big rice cooker. You can make regular rice in it. You can make black rice in it. You can make yellow rice in it, because it's what people want. But what there was a lot of pizza. There was a lot of potato skins. I had a couple of meatballs that I tried that when you keep them in the freezer, they go bad. And then when you're cooking them, they have a bitter taste to them because they're not good. And that was my experience with that. I mean, different chefs, excuse me. Yes, it is very obvious. Um, a lot of the chefs that I spoke to, head chefs, they blamed it on the people that. Yes, exactly what I always say. You got to learn your fabrics. That's right, girl. Because I don't know what the hell was going on, but I'll tell you one thing. The next time that I go, I'm going to do what I used to do, which is rent an Airbnb, get a driver. Actually, I got a few cards of drivers and just go on my way. I don't have to be a tourist that I want to see, that I want to sightsee. I mean, I spent a lot of time in DR many years ago. So there's really not a lot to see. I mean, Punta Cana is new. Punta Cana was nothing when I used to go to DR. Punta Cana now, it's like all built up, but it's like you're inside. It's different than Puerto Plata. Like you're inside Punta Cana, but it's almost like they give you everything you need so that you're like a prisoner. I don't know if you understand that, but that's how it feels. And then they lie. We were supposed to be staying at a adult section. We were in a place where there's a lot of children. The car service, all these things that went wrong. To me, I take it with a grain of salt because I believe that you should always have a plan A and a plan B. So to me, it went fine. I had a great time. I met a lot of people, and it was just something very beautiful. And I love leaving here and going to other countries, other Latin countries, and I love to mix with their culture and to mix with their foods and taste what they are about. Because when you go to a country and you eat their food, it's like you're eating them. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it's like through their food, you can actually enjoy them. And this time around, I mean, I enjoyed the company of the people that worked there, because a lot of the people that, it was a holiday on Friday. It was a birthday of the Mercedes. So people were off on Friday. So mostly the people that came into the hotel, maybe like a good 200 were actual Dominicans that were not working. But even with them, let me tell you something. I've met a lot of Dominicans in my life, but not as stuck up like the ones that were there, treating the people in the hotel as if they were their servants. I don't like that. I remember that one of the reasons that I stopped going to Puerto Rico was because of the same thing. They were losing their culture, and everything was about America, America, America. We want to whiten up the place. Yes, Airbnb is the way to go. So yeah, they wanted to whiten up the place, and I was like, "There's nothing wrong with our culture. There's nothing wrong with our food. There's nothing more." But everybody wanted to eat at Church Chicken, or they wanted to go to Long John Silver. They wanted to eat food. And I think what bothered me the most was that they had green bananas and plantains and cassava, and they had ñame, and they had beans, and they had all these vegetables grown in the backyard, but nobody touched them. Nobody touched them. And then when I asked, why aren't you eating this? Oh, we don't want to eat that junk. So all of a sudden, what we grew up on, the staple, is no longer a staple, it's junk. So church chicken is not even Popeyes, okay? Because I can deal with some Popeyes. But no, it was all about, catering to people, which they thought that they were catering to people, which is something that I don't understand. And when I did confront someone, they basically said, you got to understand that they cut corners because they want to make it cheaper. I'm like, how are they making it cheaper? I mean, you made a big pot of oxtails, and you added some foreign sauce in it, and it just made it taste horrible. So the only thing that I actually ate there that I enjoyed was this meat that was beef tenderloins, and they cut it up in really small pieces, and they had cabbage, and then I would eat a little bit of rice with that. But other than that, guys, my thing is, whenever you go to another country, go to the Airbnb, uh, try to find yourself some cheap transportation. Always be on the lookout for people who will mislead you. But at the end of the day, make sure that you're going on a different direction and everything is moving in the direction you want. But go out. Puerto Plata was, Punta Cana was like, it was like foreign. It was like away from everything. And before you get there, yes, they have beautiful condos and stuff, but it just wasn't what people always make it out to see, to be like, oh, it's really great. The people that make it out to seem really great are people that I know that rent Airbnb, or they own a condo and they go and they do their own thing and they drive and they just go wherever they want to go, and then they enjoy themselves. This time, I was with someone, and I was a guest, and I had a great time. I can't say that I had a bad time. I had a great time. I was just very disappointed when it came to the food and it came to the service, and the fact that everything was so damn expensive. Like literally, you can buy yourself like a can of soda, and it was like $200, top 200 pesos. And I'm like, 200 pesos. And it was just crazy, and things were like 5,000, which is like $50. I mean, a cream, a hand lotion that you can only find there. A friend of mine bought one, and it was in the store jumbo. It's $2.30, and we bought it at a pharmacy there in the hotel, and it was 15 something. So you know what? I don't think that it needs to be so expensive, considering the fact that it is a beautiful, beautiful hotel. Like I said, I will post it up. It was a beautiful hotel. The scenery was beautiful. The people were excellent. When you slept well. English channels, Spanish channels. No one rushed you to do anything. Like you can walk around. And there was a moment that I lost my phone, but I was sick. I felt like my pressure had dropped, so I was going down. I came up and I fell asleep for a few hours, and then when I woke up, it was maybe like, I want to say like 1 a.m. I went downstairs and I walked all the way to the beach area, which is like a half a mile, and I came back to my room a couple hours later, went out again, all the way to 5 something. I just kept walking and doing the things that I needed to do just to try to find my phone, which at the end of the day, the next day, the guy from the towel, young gentleman, he said, when you walked away, I know you weren't feeling well, but I noticed that your phone was in the grass. So I put it away under lock and key, which, like I said, nothing can really go missing because they do such a great job of making sure that everything is right. Now, the ocean is amazing. The amount of energy that emanates out of those oceans there. It's spectacular. When you talk to when you talk to Mother Earth, and you're talking to the Queen of the Ocean. I mean, Yemayas, her perfume, her winds, her waves, they come at you in such a beautiful presence. And then the people, all of a sudden, people are happy and they're enjoying themselves, and they don't feel like they're hostages. And it just works beautifully all the way around. Now, like I said, one of the only thing that really bothers me is that you don't see people in Germany changing their culture, their cultural foods to please us. They don't do it. I know Brazil didn't do it. I know Peru didn't do it. Ecuador didn't do it. I know that, Colombia definitely didn't do it. El Salvadoreños, El Salvador, the pupusas, that's what they're good for. That's what they're famous for. That's what you want to eat. You want to eat things that they're good, they're known for, and things that are hearty, but I don't know what's happening, but we need to really reconnect with our family, with our roots, with people. We need to connect, guys, because you know what? I was watching a program from England, a survey that, no, she was not. I'm sorry. She was from England, but the gentleman was not. The gentleman was from here, from Florida. But one was from Columbia University, and the other one was from Harvard. And they did a study that since the epidemic has begun, about 78% of families are splitting apart. Everybody's going their own way. There's no connection like there used to be. Mothers getting mad at their children, everything to do with money. Children getting mad at their mothers or fathers for not taking care of them and not liking their relationships, and for petty things. At the end of the day, people walk away from things because they need to walk away. But we need to walk back into each other's lives, and we need to really connect, because if we don't connect, we're in this losing battle. I mean, any country you go to welcomes us. Not every country, but any Hispanic country that we go to welcomes us. Whether you're white, black, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. They welcome us with open arms and with a lot of love and understanding. Us to show?
There's a show called Us. It's on ABC, I think.
Okay.
It's about different lives, perspectives of lives. So it's pretty much what you're describing. In essence, it's like talk about like there's one character in the show that he was an orphan, and he was raised by like a white family, and like he felt lost, and he had to go through that aspect of life, and he felt lost, and felt like what you're pretty much saying, like
yeah. The thing is that there is a big loss. There's a big loss, and it's happening all over the world. People disconnect themselves from each other. Lord knows I disconnect myself from people all the time, because sometimes I just don't want to be bothered, or I just want to be alone, mentally be alone. Spiritually, I'm never alone. But sometimes I just need that. And unfortunately, with my experiences in my life as growing up, I've learned to keep things inside and to be by myself and to enjoy my company. And I have become my best friend. So I don't really need to be with a group of people or have anyone in my life to say, oh, well, this person's going to film me. Maybe I will meet that person one day, but so far it hasn't happened. And I don't feel bad about it. I don't apologize for it. It's just, if I tell you I don't feel like talking, I don't feel like talking. Take it as it is. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I just try to keep everything, state the facts, and tell the truth. And that's what we need to do. We really need to be able to sit down with each other and explain what is going on in our lives and why are we going through this and what is going to help us to change what's going on around us. Because, you know, climate change has nothing, it doesn't always mean that it has to do with the climate. It does not. Climate change means that we are spewing out, the vibration of negativity towards one another and towards each other and towards ourselves. And what's happening is all of that is going up and it's becoming ether, like an ether. And that negativity is killing the planet faster than any chemical. So you have to love everything that's around you, good, bad, or indifferent. You know, you're never going to have everything the way you want it, but you have to make the best of it when you do have it and when it's good, and be grateful for every little thing, everything that you get to see. Be grateful. Every place you can visit, be grateful. If you meet people from another country and they cling on to you, be grateful. You know, I met these two gentlemen that were I think they were from Russia. They're young guys, and they are like, I guess they were the secret police, but they were young. They traveled to all the Hispanic countries, and they do work. I didn't ask what they did, and they didn't tell me what they did. But they've been around to many countries, scuba diving, and they love it. And they spoke Spanish very well, and they were very kind. And you know, every time they saw us, they were like, "Hi, how you doing? You know, how's your day?" You know, you don't see that here. And again, you know, my plea is, you know what? We have to say hi to people. We have to be kind. I mean, that's one thing that I do say. If you are someone that I do speak to on a regular basis, or you're my friend, I'm always gonna say hi. You know, I'm always gonna be a unicorn, but at the end of the day, I'm always gonna say hi, and and I expect that. And people that know me know, because a lot of people call me, they don't say hi. They just say, they go right into their own shit. Like, if I don't have a life, I have a life. And I like to be addressed. Like, how are you? How's your day? How are you feeling? How's everything going? It's not a big deal. It's not asking too much, you know, because at the end of the day, we need each other, you know. And, you know, I guess some people feel privileged that they feel that they don't have to connect with you in that way. So, you know, when you don't connect with them, they get upset. And they wonder, why are you upset with me? But if you can't figure that out, then that shows you that, you know, what type of person you are and at what level you are. Okay. So all of this, I want you to understand that all of this that we're talking about, all of this has to do with humanity. All of this has to do with the changing of cultures. You know, there's a lot of Black people that are moving back to Ghana, you know, because they're finding that Ghana is very beautiful, and on this and that and the third. But I said it once and I'm going to say it again. What are they contributing to Ghana? Honestly. And yeah, there are some people that they go out there and they have money and they get the house built and they live very well. But you're going to Ghana to live in a country that's rich with many things, but it's a poor country. And you're going to live in this poor country as if you were a king or a queen because you have the money. Think about that for a minute, okay? A lot of actors and actresses are moving to Ghana. But what are you contributing to Ghana? What are you contributing to Ethiopia? What are you contributing to West Africa? I mean, these are countries and cities that are built up because they have a lot of modern technology. But what are we bringing to them? You know, I mean, at least when I go to Cuba, I bring, you know, lots of food, and I bring clothes, and I just give and give and give, because that is who I am. And I don't throw it in anybody's face. Oh, I did this for you. I don't do that. But I want to be a part of something, and I want to make something grow. I don't want to just be a bump on the log and just say, "Oh, I went here and it was great," or "I went here and they treated me this way." No, we have forgotten the kindness. We really have. We've lost ourselves with technology. We've lost our way of communicating and loving one another. We really have. The kids wake up in the morning and the first thing they grab is their cell phones, or they grab their computers. They're there, but they're not really there. They don't exist. They're there, but they don't exist. Uh, One of the things that I did in my journey, in my quest, in this journey, was when I was outside at nighttime or early in the morning when the sun came out. I suffer from lack of vitamin D, so the sun actually helped to build me and give me strength. But I would sun gaze, and I'm looking at things that to the naked eye you cannot see it. But for people who think that parallel worlds don't exist, we don't exist. Parallel worlds exist. We don't exist. So at the end of the day, we are no different than the Matrix. And guys, for people who have not seen the new Matrix, watch it carefully, listen to everything, and you're going to see how slowly people are waking up. And in the awakening, they're starting to see things, because these movies are not just made because they're going to make a sequel, or they're going to do this because it automatically pops into your head. No, nothing pops into your head. We've been incarnated so many times that we've started to remember things that we did not remember before. There are many, 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 many aliens living on this planet, which a lot of us may think the idea is crazy. It's not crazy. People that have been abducted, supposedly, a lot of the times people were not abducted by aliens. They were abducted by the United States to make it seem as if we were being abducted by people from another planet, when in reality people from another planet live here already, and they've been here for many, many, many centuries. They've been here, and they have chosen to go underground, whether it be under a volcano or under rock or caves or whatever. They've chosen to walk away to watch, because if you really think about it, what they're finding now is remains of people that were killed, or cities that should not have existed, and now all of a sudden they exist, and they're thousands and thousands of years old, and they're like, wait a minute, not too long ago in Turkey, they found what they said was like the first factory hidden under so much rubble. It's really incredible how our history is growing and is changing, the impact. We just need to learn to connect and disconnect from the political jargon that society wants us to believe in, and stay there and get stuck. We need to get out of that. We need to start meditating more. We need to start focusing more. We need to start taking better care of our bodies. We need to start taking better care of our families and our friends, and whoever is kind to you, be kind to them, and whoever is not, then that's their problem. But at the end of the day, I would say, like myself, I don't have a problem, but if you have a problem with me, that's your problem. That's not my problem. So at the end of the day, I'm still going to be kind. I'm still going to say hello. I'm still going to be that person that's going to get involved. But I also know that I am that person that I can see through the fabric of time, and I can see that there is a lot of stuff that's heading this way, and it's coming really fast. And unfortunately, we're not prepared for it, because mentally and emotionally, we don't know how to let go of all of this. We're so stuck on material things that we don't know how to let go. And once you let go and you realize, you know what, I've had enough and I'm done, and I'm just going to take the clothes on my back and I'm just going to start over, you'll start to realize that you have more to give this universe than the universe has to give to you. And you can only do it by being the person you are. Now, this show was supposed to be about, the experience that I had, and it was, like I said, it was an amazing experience. But then again, people that know me know that I've traveled a lot, and I do travel. But some people don't know because I don't, I'll take pictures, maybe one, two, or three, and I don't really take care of. I don't take pictures of people. I don't take pictures of myself, being in the beach and stuff. I don't do that. I like just the sceneries. I think they're very important, But I also make it my business to make sure that I acknowledge everything on this planet, everything that exists, from the cockroaches that I can't stand, to the ants, to the tree, to the birds. I live in gratitude of all of these things. And yeah, there might be things that may cause me to become startled, but then when it's over, and I'm back to being who I am. I know that there are a lot of important things out there, much more than what people are making big deals of. I mean, this COVID thing it's not getting better, it's getting worse, and it's mutating. So, people need to understand that, what the doctors want you to do. Give me 1 second. Let me get up. Along with Tylenol. I'm sorry, I have a t-shirt on because I just didn't feel, I got up, took a shower, I just didn't feel like changing. Besides Tylenol, what doctors are asking you to do is take calcium, magnesium, and zinc every day. And believe it or not, I got COVID tested twice in DR and no problem. But this is the one that I use, Nature's Made, and I'm not getting paid to do this commercial for them, okay? But this is what I use, Nature's Made, and this one has calcium, magnesium, and zinc. So you don't have to, and it's not that big of a pill. So you don't have to go out and buy all three. You can just buy one bottle. And in the Walgreens, guys, Nature's Made, this particular one, you buy one and you get one free. And they bring 300 tablets. And it's only 2 a day. I take one in the morning and one at night before I go to bed. So keep your immune system happy. Keep living in gratitude. Even when it rained in DR, and it rained every single day, I laid on that cot from it being sunny to the rain coming down and washing all the heat off of me. And maybe for like a half hour, I was drenched in rain. And then all of a sudden, boom, the sun came out again. So, you have to live in gratitude when the Almighty, the divine, when he can turn gray skies into blue skies, and he can show you things that you never thought were possible, and I just think that it's an amazing thing. I think that people need to travel. I think that that people make too many excuses. Oh, I can't travel because I can't afford it. I can't travel because I have the kids. I can't travel because I can't do this. And it's all excuses. It's all excuses because if you're married, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to go out with your husband or your wife and travel. If you're single, there should not be any reason why you can't put some money aside and travel. None. There's always a way when the divine is calling on you to do something, And one thing that I actually realized by walking from the hotel to the beach, which, like I said, it's like a half a mile. I did that every day, several times, is walking through the cobblestone streets or brick streets, the way they laid it out in the fountains on both sides. I realized at that moment that I was walking alongside the divine, and the divine was in me, and that I was in the divine. And it made me realize that how insignificant we really are, how we want to be more significant than what we are. And we are like, we're constantly changing. We're caterpillars that are finally changing, and we're constantly changing and evolving. Unfortunately, not everybody evolves for the best. There are people who are problematic, who love problems and love gossip and love to be in the middle of things. There are people who are very good people and they're very kind and they get shitted on and they wonder why. And there are people who do the shitting on other people. And unfortunately, those people with time, they will pay for the things they've done. Don't change who you are. Don't try to change anything about you. I've made changes to my name, to my life, but there were necessary changes that I needed to do. It had nothing to do with I did it because I thought I was better. No, I made changes in my life because I needed to make them. It was like the holy grail of my life, and I needed to either live that old life and be miserable all the time, or change my name, my who I am, and dig deep within myself and find my truth, and show the realities of life, which is we are children of the most highest God, and we are children of the divine. And if you truly walk by faith and not by sight, you will see that the divine will take you to so many different places that you never thought you would be. And it will introduce you to so many people that you never thought you would meet. And like I said, it's all about loving the divine, and it's all about being within the divine, and it's all about keeping yourself focused and not losing sight of who you are. If you're Hispanic, be as Hispanic as you can be. If you're Black, African American, whatever name you choose to be called, embrace it. Embrace it. If you're light skinned, embrace it. If you're dark skinned, embrace it. If you're whatever, embrace it. Be happy. Be happy with yourself. Be happy with your life. Understand that no one is obligated to do anything for you, and you're not obligated to do anything for them unless you have little kids. Then you are obligated. But technically, you're not obligated to do anything except take care of self, because that is why the divine put us here, to take care of self and to teach, our children, our nephews, our nieces, our brothers and sisters, how to become one with the divine. And it doesn't mean you go to church. It just means that because you learn to be still, and I mean still by taking, a few deep breaths, as deep as you can take them, and then you hold them, you hold them, and then you release them, and you just quiet down everything in your head, and you quiet everything down in here. You will start to realize that the voice you start to hear is the voice of the divine. And that is not just impressionable, it's a very emotional experience. But like I said, all of this comes with not changing who we are, not trying to change our cuisines to please other people, not let people copy our cuisines, because a lot of people come from other countries and they copy our cuisine, and then all of a sudden they open up a restaurant in their country and they make lots of money. Why? Because they copied our cuisine. People that if you have a cookbook within you, or you know how to do certain things, create a cookbook, sell it. Don't give it away. Don't give away your family secrets, your food. Don't. You know what I'm saying? Learn from other Hispanics or other Black cultures or other cultures. Learn, but don't use their knowledge for your benefit. don't do that, because that's what I saw there a lot. People were using, other people's ideas as their own. And that to me is very sad, because it's happened to me many times and I don't like that feeling. So, what I can say is that I do live in gratitude of knowing each and every single person that does log on. For Ron, for Dr. D, for Corey, I live in the gratitude of your favor, of being favored by the divine, and being able to express to people about the divine, because people are forgetting. And it's not that people are forgetting about Christ or they're forgetting about God. We didn't label them. Humans labeled them. We did not label them. So humans went around labeling them, labeling the divine. The divine is the divine. The divine has always been the divine. And as long as you understand that you walk in the light of the divine, and the divine walks within you, and you are part of the divine, because you are the child of the most highest God, you will then understand and trust that everything will move the way that it's supposed to move. You don't have to steal other people's ideas to become who you're supposed to be. Let live, you live and let live. I do things, I do spiritual things, and I create things. But just because I create things doesn't mean that I give you the whole recipe. Nope. I'll give you some things. The rest, I don't give, because I don't believe. I've been through this too many times where I'm not giving away anything. If I want to help you, I'll give it away. But no, I'm not going to just do things like that, because it doesn't benefit me in any way. If anything, it may put me in harm's way, in case, they create something and they say, well, you got it from me. And then it becomes toxic for somebody else, when I know that the things that I do are not toxic. Well, guys, it is 9:52, and I know it's early, but I am exhausted, and I will let you go. I send you guys love and light and many blessings, and may the divine always take care of you, and may the divine always guide you to where you need to be. And it doesn't matter what people have to say about you, or what people think of you, or how people talk about you. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is how you feel, and how you're going to allow yourself to feel better every day by being stronger every day, by meditating every day, and being the best that you can be for you, not for anybody else. And only when you become your best friend can you really appreciate other people, because until then, you won't be able to appreciate anything or anyone. Okay? Light and love. Corey, you can disconnect and go to commercial if you know how. Corey.